On today's Domain Sherpa review, the Sherpas bought cultivation.com and sold a 248 four-letter .com portfolio, as well as bluevolcano.com. Find out who bought and who sold and for how much. We discuss a user-submitted portfolio of all new GTLD domains, including smart.glass, usedcars.forsale, and moving.supplies. We discuss names going to auction soon at NameJet, including driving.com, sdu.com, and plantzone.com. I think Shane is going to buy it this time. And we play the Name That Game price with a phenomenally surprising result. Stay tuned. I have 3 sponsor messages before we get into today's show. First, if you have a great domain name and nothing to show when people visit, you're missing out on potential advertising revenue, leads, and partnership opportunities. NicheWebsites.com can build you a site quickly with a price option to suit any need. But as their tagline says, they don't just build websites, they build businesses. NicheWebsites.com. Second, if you're buying or selling a domain name or portfolio and you want an estimate of its value, Estabot.com is the place to go. Just like you'd visit Zillow.com to get an estimate of a house value, Estabot.com provides key information about the most important statistics so you can make an informed decision based on data. Finally, whether you're buying, selling, brokering, or financing a domain name, you need an escrow company that's properly licensed, bonded, insured, and audited. That company is escrow.com, and they've been doing it since 1999. Escrow.com. It's about trust. Hey everyone, I'm Michael Cyger, publisher of DomainSherpa.com, and this is the Domain Sherpa Review. This is the show where we get into the minds of successful domain name investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics. We have 4 sections to the review. We're going to start off learning what the Sherpas recently bought or sold. Then we'll discuss and value an investor-submitted domain name portfolio, and we have a special portfolio today. Then we'll review some hot domains going to auction soon at NameJet, and we'll wrap it up with our Name That Price game and maybe a reader question or 2 if we have time. Joining us today on the Domain Sherpa Review are 3 past Sherpas and thought leaders. In order from left to right, we have Adam Dicker, CEO of dnforum.com and nichewebsites.com, the company that'll help you build, rank, and update your business website, or that idea that you've been thinking about doing for a long time. Contact nichewebsites.com. Next up, Andrew Rosener, CEO of the domain name brokerage firm MediaOptions.com. And Shane Cultra, publisher of the blog DomainShane.com and owner of the Country Arbors Nursery in Illinois. Sherpas, welcome to today's show.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, we're going to start off with the segment called What's New Sherpas, where we get to find out what you guys have been buying and selling over the past few weeks. So we'll learn things like what you paid or received for the domain name, why you thought it was a good deal, and how that negotiation progressed. Everybody always wants to know, if the Sherpas have their chops, so now we get to hear. I'll lead you through the questions, but the other Sherpas will get to comment as well. We're going to start off with Drew. Drew, what is one domain name that you've bought or sold in the past couple of weeks? And don't tell us the price of it, just the name.
I just bought yesterday cultivation.com.
Cultivation.com. All right, now hold on. First of all, do you ever sell domain names, Drew? Every time you come on here, you're buying something else. Last week, you bought essential.com, which everybody loved in the comments. This week, you got cultivating.com.
Cultivation.com. 110,000 exact match searches on that bad boy.
All right, so let me start with Adam. Adam, 110,000 exact match searches for cultivation.com. It sounds like something that Domain Shane should be buying for his nursery. What do you think he paid for it?
Again, we can base these patterns based on Drew's normal habits.
Yeah.
I think he probably valued this one a little higher than he normally would. I'm going to put this one at $18K.
$18K. Shane, what do you think he paid for it?
Is that the one Ollie was selling?
I don't believe so.
Okay, because it was in the same. There was something in there, and it's pronounced cultivation.
I'm going to go buy cultivation.
You should trademark that. Yeah, you should get that. You should get that. Should be your brand, dude. Cultivation.
It is. We've got cultivar, like a different type. But based on some of the, I know I saw cultivate or some of those names come up from Ollie or somebody, but I'm going to say 15K. It is a great name, and I know he's into growing as well. So
yeah, weed.
I'm gonna go 25 on this one. Drew, what'd you pay?
15.
15. Shane nails it on the head.
But
So-
we were all in the ballpark.
Yeah.
And it was from Ali. It was Ali.
Oh, it was Ollie's.
yeah,
Shane nailed
That-
it. You know
that-
what's going on the
He
flip
actually had sold it for quite a bit more to another buyer, and then that guy disappeared. It was in escrow. Both parties accepted. The guy
I was
never paid.
busy.
And then he pinged me and said, "Do you want this name?" And I was like, "Fuck, I want that name." Yeah. So yeah.
Because you didn't even know that he was brokering the domain?
Someone had mentioned it to me, but I feel like it was like 50 grand or 40 grand or something. And like, I remember thinking like, oh, a great name. But yeah, no, this fits into our Ganjapreneur network very well. I'm not going to flip this one. This will be developed into part of that network.
Cultivation.com. All right. So it's
Yeah,
a
it's gonna
business
be a
that
grow
you're
blog.
developing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
It's going to be a grow blog.
Yep.
It's going to be a,
Cool.
definitive website for growing.
Did you negotiate? And we say Ollie, that's Ollie Zandy, who did a show on DomainSherpa in the past, used to be the lead broker at Flippa, now is running his own domain name fund for investment with a private firm. Drew, did you negotiate on the purchase price of that at all?
Yes, I did. Did
you get it down?
Yeah.
How much did you get it down?
I think he wanted like 25 or 30 grand, and I told him I'd do 10, and then actually, you know what? I got it for 14. That's what I got it for.
14. Wow, that's a good buy. Nice work. Congratulations to Ollie.
Wait, Shane, were you really the guy that was in? You were in an escrow with him, were you?
No, but he and I did talk about the name. I mean, it is a perfect name for me, but I have weedgrower.com. That's a pretty good name for you as well.
Yeah.
But there's only so many names. I know I'm not going to build them all out. I have tons of plant stuff, so I don't want to tie up 15 or 20 grand for something that I'm just going to sit on because I don't sell my name.
To be totally honest, I didn't want to tie up money in this either. I was kind of like, oh man, he offered to me, and I was like, oh Jesus, but at the end of the day, at that price, it was.
It's a fair price, especially if you're going to do something with it. But I'm sitting on so many of those things.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Drew. Shane, what's one domain name you bought or sold in the past couple of weeks?
I sold bluevolcano.com yesterday.
Blue Volcano. That sounds like an awesome drink.
Yeah.
That or
could be a club name.
Or a bisexual bar.
Right.
Each his own.
Hey, each their own.
Blue.
Yeah. Blue. Adam, what do you think? What do you think Shane sold at bluevolcano.com for?
2,400.
Drew, what do you think he sold bluevolcano.com for?
$3,800.
All right. I'm going to go high at 5K. So we're all pretty much in the same range there. Shane, how did our range meet up with what you sold it for?
Actually, 2,500. Who was it? Adam? Yeah, so Adam.
Yeah, put 2,400. 2,500 bucks.
Price.
How much did you pick that up for?
I bought it in 2013 for $69 in NameJet.
So you were the only bidder on that auction. You got it? Or you're the first bidder? One of the two.
I can't remember. 2013 is so long ago. No,
so
I don't know.
Ago. So you've owned it like 2 years or less. Picked it up for $69. You paid one renewal fee.
Here's the thing, though. I forgot to renew it and had to pay an extra $25 for that late. And I did do it. I did pick it up and said, it's worth it paying that extra late fee, and I did it, and it paid off. So
yeah. All right. Was that a buy it now price through? How did the negotiations happen?
No, there was a lot. I really wasn't going to settle for less than $3,500, but it just came about. Am I frozen?
Nope, you're good. I still see you. Now you just froze.
Yeah. So anyway, we negotiated back and forth, and then $2,500 is my minimum. if I'm going to do something, I'm not selling for less than 2,500. And he finally came back a week later and said, all right, we'll do it. And, I don't know what he's using it for, but if you're going to build a brand, 2,500 for a 2-word, known word domain, I think is a fair price. And obviously I had a good return.
Yeah.
We keep moving.
So have you looked at all the other color volcanoes to see if they're available for hand registration?
I haven't. Everybody knows I like 2 words, color, noun. I'll buy them all day for $69. It doesn't even matter what it is. You put a color.
I agree 100%. I mean, they have a great track record, whether it's an animal or a thing combined with a color. We own a bunch of those too, like just whatever it is, like pink elephant.
You're going to sit on them, but eventually you're going to sell 1 or 2, and it's going to pay for every single one and the renewals. You'll be fine. It's just obviously every year it gets harder you're not going to get those for $69. You throw them up at NameJet now, and there's not very many $6,900 names left.
Yeah. All right. Congrats, Shane.
Thank you.
Adam, let's go over to you. What's one domain name you've bought or sold in the past couple of weeks?
So I'm not going to give the actual price that I sold them at, but they're free to guess. I signed myself to an NDA. Basically, and I don't know if you still want me to go through it, I sold a package of 248 4-letter.coms.
248 4-letter.coms. All right, so you're not going to tell us the price you sold it for.
No, but some are like 3 letters, like OOPO, and I mean there were some NDDD.com. There were some good ones. They can guess, but I can't really say.
All right, so let's go through that exercise because I think a lot of people are talking about triple letters or so have risen in value so quickly. Now people are looking at 4 letters rising in value. Shane, what does a 4-letter go for on any of the NameJet, GoDaddy, FlipUs sites nowadays?
I assume that was the list that I saw that Adam was selling of 200 plus a couple more added in there.
248 in there, correct.
Oh, 248. Okay. Yeah, I looked at that and I was thinking bulk all the way because I knew that some portfolio would come by, and he doesn't have to say anything. But I was thinking I wouldn't let those go for less than 350 average because some of those names would be more than that individually, and some were less. But to me, 300, 350 per name times the number, I wouldn't let them go for less than that.
So that's 86,800 if that was the average on 248.
I'll say 80 grand.
Hey, Drew, what do you think? Typically on package deals like this, the larger the package, the less per domain you get.
Yeah, I mean, there's some conflicting opinions on that. So personally, I feel, and this may or may not be, probably is not a consensus view, but I actually feel that to be able to get access to a package deal on any of these liquid assets today, this isn't always the case, but today in a very extraordinarily hot market for anything that's short and liquid, I think there should be a premium put on the availability of a high volume list of quality names that qualify as these types of liquid names. Now, I don't know if that applied here or not, but that's my personal opinion. I think that I'd probably guess that we're talking about 250 per name.
Somewhere in that order,
maybe, yeah. It's hard to say because I mean, like these good ones, like an NDDD.com. That's probably an $800 to $1,500 name on NameJet. But then you're going to combine that with a bunch of names that are really low quality. Might have whatever other letters in it. I don't even know what's low quality anymore. I got to be honest with you. And those things probably have a floor price of like $50, maybe even $40. So, I don't know. It's very hard, without going through the list and saying, okay, you got, 20 names that are like really good in here. And that gives you, 15 grand in value there. And then you got a bunch that are $50 names, $100 names. So I really don't know.
Yeah.
But if I just take a wild guess, I think, you're probably looking at, let's say it was 10% really good quality, and you call it $500 a name there. That's 10 grand. maybe I think 80 grand is probably about right.
How'd they do, Adam?
So they did well. I got a couple of objections at first, basically because it's me selling them. The first objection is, well, I don't feel comfortable buying these because it's Adam Dicker who's selling them. So I had to basically let them know. And the truth was that I'm using the money for this for a better investment, in my opinion. So that's really why. And most domainers are constantly upgrading their own portfolios. And I've had those names for, I don't know, a long time, maybe 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, a whole bunch of them. So for me, it's a good deal. For me, it was, I mean, the guys are good with their pricing. I was happy with what I got for them, but again, I'm using the money for something else that I think I can make a lot more money in.
So let me ask you how you went about selling 248 domains of similar structure. 4Ls.
So what I did was I looked at the list. Actually, Simon Byrne on DN Forum was bugging me to give some away, so I picked out 5, and I said, well, since I compiled the list, what the hell, I might as well put them all up and unload them. Because I wasn't doing anything with them. I don't plan on building them out. They're either you sit on them for investment or you resell them. So then I decided to put a thread up on DN Forum. Then I highlighted the thread with domaining.com, and Francois' site really brought in a lot of traffic. Then they got picked up and posted on a few other blogs that they were there, and the traffic got really big. Nobody in the thread knows right now that they've been bulk sold, but they will know by the time the interview airs. So, I mean, yeah, I got some really good offers. Like Drew said, some for 1,000, some what I would consider lower end names and bundles of 3 for 1,000 here and there.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, the person I'm dealing with is somebody that I know very well. He's a really good guy, and if they want to go bid on some of the names from him, I'm sure he'll sell them, and I'll post his information once it airs. But I mean, no, I mean at the end of the day, it's better to deal with people that are reliable. I could transfer the names 6-7 days in advance and know that I'm going to get the payment, and I don't have to worry about it. So that has a lot to do with it.
Now, you're the owner of DN Forum. Did you do anything that an owner only is able to do to promote the portfolio for sale, or is that something that, you know, Drew, Shane, and I could do as well as regular users of DN Forum?
No, I didn't do anything. About 2 days later, I decided to stick the thread, which I think is about $20 or something like that. I figured on a deal that big to stick it for 20 or 25 bucks was no big deal. So yeah, I didn't bill myself for sticking the thread. But other than that, all I did was I posted in the domains for sale offers wanted, and offers started to flow in.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
I mean,
yeah, and 248 4Ls is different than saying I've got 3 4Ls that are really high quality. You know, people want to see larger portfolios.
And Drew and Shane are both right. You can find some 4Ls for a lot for under $100, but you can also, when you sell them in a package and somebody doesn't have to go through 248 different threads or 248 different auctions, it adds value for both people. So for me, it saves me dealing with one person. For him to amass 248 of these would take forever.
Yeah.
And then you may end up spending a lot more on an auction than you would just dealing with one person. So
that's true.
It's win-win.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Congratulations. We're going to move on to the next segment of the show. In the domain portfolio review, we take user-submitted domain name portfolios and provide honest and constructive feedback to the owners of those portfolios. And today's portfolio is unique. It's a new GTLD portfolio put together in the past year since the new GTLDs have been released. We're focusing on new GTLDs this week, as I'll also be hosting the DNSeattle.com networking event in Kirkland this week at the Right Side headquarters in Kirkland, Washington. I reached out to the readers on the discussion forum called it sounded weird. GTLD.link. It's a discussion forum only for new GTLDs. It's much smaller, but it's much easier to get to know people on the discussion forum there. So I reached out to them and I said, hey, you guys only talk about new GTLDs. I'm going to open up a portfolio review just to people that only want to submit GTLDs, and let's take a look at them, because this week we're focusing on the new investment opportunities. So today's portfolio was submitted by Phil Harris. Phil's list of 25 domain names starts with e.vacations, the letter e.vacation and vacations, and ends with tech.gifts. Adam, let's start with you. You've seen this list. You have invested in some new GTLDs yourself, I know. What stands out to you on Phil's list as his best investments, and why?
So I think Phil's lucky you're starting out with me on this one because I know how some of the others feel. So I looked at the list, and this is all from one person. I was wondering when you said a forum if you compiled them, but so I think this is a fairly good example, minus a few weird things, where Phil actually knows and understands what he's buying when it comes to GTLDs. And I always do things, like I said, where if it makes sense for a business to own it, it's a great buy. Yes, he may have to sit for 3 to 5 years, but listen, I sat on those 4letter.coms for 8 to 10 years, so I know what that's like. But he's got some really smart ones that I like. For example, moving supplies, luxury gifts. There's a couple that caught me a little bit. I don't like. I mean, I don't like anything with XYZ because pets.xyz to me doesn't really do much. Smart glass was a good one. Orthopedic care, credit card guide. I mean, a lot of these are really, they make sense at least. Whereas he's not registering things that don't make, like Contacts Direct, great for setting up to sell mailing lists. I mean, there's some good stuff on here. Tech gifts, not crazy about election results today. Frozen pizza, I don't know if he'll sell much on that, but I mean, there's some good names. Investment Land is a good name. He's got the right idea with what he's buying. He's buying smart. So I do like it.
Yeah. What's your favorite domain on the list?
Listen, used cars for sale is good, but I'm going to stick with moving supplies. I like it just because everybody moves and there's all kinds of stuff. It's an easier one to build, but Contacts Direct is really good because you can do a lot on mailing lists. So I like Contacts Direct, and I like moving supplies because I think it's good. But there's quite a few on here that are decent.
So Contacts.direct, that's more of a brandable domain name, right?
It's a brandable, but it's also a service, like a product and a service, because you can sell mailing lists.
Right.
And people are buying those all the time.
Whereas used cars for sale, those are keywords that span the dot, and you like those is what you're saying. You like the luxury.gifts or the smart.glass.
I do, because they make sense. Like some people will register dumb things that don't make any sense, like a purple glass or something, and I know Drew and Shane would like it because it's a 2-word and it's a color, so who knows. But there's some things that don't make sense that people register, and generally with what he's buying, they make sense. It's a phrase people would use, and that's more important than just registering a domain name because it sounds good. So
the ones that you liked, Adam, would you hold on to those indefinitely until somebody came along and offered you enough, or maybe ride those out as new GTLDs increase in value if they do?
Well, he's got a few years before he's going to get some good money on these. So I would probably build out a couple of them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with building out moving supplies, selling boxes, box tape, bubble wrap, whatever it is. That's a great domain to build for moving supplies. So he's got some good ones, and I think he's got a chance of accidentally building a business that's going to make more money than if he sells the domain name. So on something like moving supplies, I would definitely build that one out.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Drew, let's go to you. You are a .com guy, right?
You know what? So here's the deal. I was, when this whole thing rolled out, I was on the fence, on the sidelines. I invested in some just because I can, but I didn't particularly believe in it. As things progressed, my disbelief became stronger, and I became a wholehearted .com guy, and I basically all but think that these new GTLDs are worthless. But then last night, I went to go see Robert Kiyosaki, who frankly believes the world is ending. But nonetheless, he also gave a whole presentation about if you are a person who takes a definitive stance one way or the other, you're an idiot. And he said, if you say, look, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, you're an idiot. If you say, I'm a capitalist or a socialist, you're an idiot. And so if you're a .com guy or a GTL guy, you're probably an idiot too. And so I'm going to try and take a more moderate response and, look at each domain name individually and not necessarily this domain's great because it's .com and that domain sucks because it's a new TLD, but each domain on an individual basis. And I think this is a great portfolio to start that off with because there are some really interesting names in here.
Our little boy is growing up, Mike.
I know. It took going to see Richard talk. So that's the
Robert.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sorry. So all right. So you're gonna run through this list, Drew?
Okay, so Adam touched on most of the great things in here. I
Yep.
mean, moving.supplies, that is a great name. E.vacations. I really don't like any of these new TLDs that are so long on the right-hand side. But it's like, if you're looking at one letter on the left, then, maybe. I like smart.glass a lot. I like pets.xyz just because pets is just so big. Used cars.for-sale. I mean, it says what it is, I guess, right? So, I don't know. I can go on. I think a lot of these are like that, right? Lawyer guide, maybe. Orthopedic care, good name, except that orthopedic's tough because there's a few different ways to spell it.
Investment.land?
No. Although I will admit that I did buy farms for .sale and farm for .sale and farms for .sale recently. I hand registered. But I don't know. Man,
All right,
I throw in the
so you
towel.
like some of the same ones that Adam liked. Esteban put a value of smart.glass. It valued at retail at $13,000. If you owned smart.glass, would you sell it for?
That's probably my favorite one on the list, just because it's edgy.
What do you think it's worth?
I mean, I think it's worthless.
What do you mean it's worthless?
It's worthless. I mean, how can you tell me that the domain has value? It has value when Google decides that we want to buy smart.glass. Smartglass.com has value. That name has value because if you put it up on DNForum, people are going to say, oh, I want that name. You're going to have people competing to buy it. If you put it in an auction, you're going to have people competing to buy that name. Smart.glass, I mean, people are going to be, maybe they're going to compete to buy it, but it's going to be like, okay, I'll give you 50. I'll give you 55. I'll give you 70. Oh, maybe it'll go to, $500 or something. But who's going to pay a lot of money to get smart.glass on speculation? I mean, you're speculating on whether somebody actually has a product called smart.glass. And then if they have that product, you're speculating that they might want the TLD as opposed to smartglass.com or both, maybe, right? So, it's a lot of speculation. It's a double layer of speculation, which is probably not the direction that we should be going in as an industry. But nonetheless, on this list, if we're going to talk about GTLDs and we're going to be moderate in our opinions, then that's my favorite one.
All right. And name one domain you definitely drop from this list. One you don't like.
Bestrooms.vegas.
All right.
I think when we start getting to 3 words and 4 words, and I mean, even the names that I bought on, a random whim like farms for .sale, worthless. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
All right. Thanks, Drew. Shane, let's wrap this up with you. What are your favorites on the list? Do you agree with?
First of all, I want to say I'm getting my ass kicked in the beard growing contest.
Yeah. Me too.
He's killing me.
I'm on a week right here.
Yeah,
Drew's
he
on
is
like a day.
definitely winning this. I'm going to drop out. Second, he hasn't changed his mind. He changed his mind between
Right,
last
he's
night
like,
and
I'm
this
going to be more
conversation.
moderate now. But they're all worthless.
13 seconds into it, he had already flipped the double finger up to him.
Hey,
Robert,
listen,
that's
I
what you
didn't
got
tell
to say
him-
to
I
the rich
didn't-
dad, poor dad?
I didn't tell him to put his head in the toilet bowl this time.
Oh, no, that's true. Okay.
And flush. I think I remember you saying, and flush.
Oh, that was. I truly enjoyed that. Oh, that was great. It'll be hard to follow, but here's what I'll say about it. If you're gonna do new GTLDs, this is how you do it. This is
right.
what you're gonna do. The other side is keyword domains are kind of falling off. This is where I'm conflicted. Keyword domains and product domains are falling down in the .com, and here we're registering keyword domains with a dot in the middle of it. So I just don't feel comfortable with that. So
Yeah, great point, Shane.
That's absolutely spot on, and that's something a lot of people should be considering.
Yeah. And so we're looking at a massive list of build outs, in my opinion, if you're going to do it. If there is a resale in the market, it is the one letter dot something, only because in our minds, we still think short. And the short, if you remember in the very first time it came out, what was selling on the forums, it was the I.domains or G, is those short ones that first drew our attention because we're still in that mindset. So I think if he's going to sell them, it'll probably be those to another domain investor, because domain investors do lead the resale market. The end user market, he's going to wait. And do you buy these? And has he checked all the .coms? I mean, obviously, I'd rather have contactsdirect.com. I don't know which ones of these are taken or not taken. I didn't take the time to check, but if you're going to do it and you're going to spend the money, this is how you do it. Good keywords, good names. Nobody can argue about any of these. You think, if that was a .com, would I buy it? Most of those, absolutely. Some of those, maybe not. But, I like Pets XYZ. I don't know how XYZ is going to rank, but obviously Pets is a great keyword. Moving supplies, all the things we said, I completely agree. I agree with Adam. I absolutely agree with Drew. The value is what they just paid.
Adam, you were holding your thumb down, I believe, on the pets.xyz. You don't like that one?
I don't believe XYZ goes with Pets. I don't believe anybody's going to understand what XYZ is for a long time. But I have a couple points to add about Brian Harris. My friend here, Shane,
Phil Harris.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Sorry, Phil Harris. My friend Shane here reported back in February 11th, 2014 on his blog that our Phil Harris sold the first GTLD 3D printing.guru. He bought it, from page Howe. So that was February 11th, 2014. And then I looked recently and noticed that Phil, I got your name right, Phil Harris also sold this time in February of 2015, coastal.cruises for $6,000. So yeah. Phil's no rookie to this.
No.
He knows what he's doing. He's buying the right stuff, and that's why he's selling the right stuff.
Sorry about the ringing. Whose phone is that?
That's me, sorry.
That's okay. Can you hit mute while it's ringing, Drew?
Yep. I just hit reject.
So,
Rejected. Phil is no rookie at this. You're right, Adam.
No, he's a smart guy.
He sold a couple of those .cruise names. He had called me at some point, and I kind of said, look, these things are all worthless. And he was like, well, I just sold this one for $5,000 and this one for 10. And so he does seem to be he seems to have a magic touch when it comes to these names.
So, and just to prove that we don't all know everything, Drew had a chance to buy those 4letter.coms off me a few months ago and turn them down for about a quarter of what I ended up selling them for. So we're not all perfect. I just thought I'd throw that in there for you, Drew.
Yeah.
I am absolutely far from perfect. But that wasn't actually me. That was for a client.
I know, for a client. But anyway, so he's buying and selling these things. He's not a virgin to this industry, and he knows what he's doing. So he's clearly on the right track.
Yeah. All right. One of the users of the forum sent me a private message, and he said, I think you left a very big criteria out of your request for names when I posted this request. And I received a bunch of submissions. You guys saw. We were able to look through them and choose them. I didn't have any names on there or anything. And this person continued, I have seen people here attempt to sell domains that come with a $5,000 annual renewal price. And, all of this work to to register these domains might be moot if you don't get, the prices attached. So I thought, well, that's a good point. I didn't ask. So let me first ask you guys, if a domain comes with, I looked up smart.glass. If I were to transfer it to GoDaddy, it would cost me $9 a year. If I transferred, what was the other one? Cool.gifts. It would cost me $249 a year at GoDaddy. So I'm assuming that's the annual renewal cost. If you were selling a domain name, one of these domain names to an end user, do you think the end user would think twice about paying $90 a year or $250 a year if they were running a business, building a business on it?
I think that no matter. Go ahead, Shane.
I was just going to say, if you're a business, maybe not.
Right.
But
I tend to agree with the same.
250. I mean, 250 is nothing, but that's a huge number. when it comes to renewal costs for a domain or anybody else besides the actual end user.
For the investor. Drew, what were you going to say? You agree or disagree?
I agree and disagree, as I am now a moderate. No, here's the deal. We just acquired a very good new GTLD for a client, a corporate client. It was a defensive registration, and the renewal price. I think it was going to be like it was like $1,000 a year or something, and they were like, they were okay with the price to acquire it. And then when they found out that it was going to be like ongoing renewal price like that, they're like, absolutely not. We have no interest. And so we negotiated with the registry and we got it down to a normal renewal price. And we ultimately got the deal done. But that was a no-go. That deal was not going to happen with a premium renewal price.
I didn't even know you could negotiate. I really am. I didn't even know you could negotiate with the registry to get a renewal price down.
Michael, I negotiate for everything. I negotiate when I buy coffee in the morning.
That might be opening up in a can of worms.
Seriously. Yeah. And then you usually make the coffee, right?
I negotiate with my coffee machine.
Yeah, you do.
I was going to say
you better squeeze out another drop.
With the wife, please make the coffee today. I'll make it tomorrow.
Yeah. Adam, you develop out a lot of websites. If a business has cash flow, do you think they think twice about a $90 per year renewal or a $250 per year renewal?
Well, I did sell another domain name this week, and it was a $7,500 name. And they did ask me what are the renewal costs, so they didn't have any idea what they were. And I had to tell them it's $10, and they were like, "Is that all the time, or do we own the name?" I mean, I had to really explain to them. So I think that as long as and the biggest problem I think would be the seller that pushes to their account and doesn't talk about the renewal fee and doesn't tell them about it. That to me would be the biggest issue. Yeah. Do I think a business would have issue with it? Not a giant business, but I mean, some people would still like to know what it is and why.
Yeah.
So
$5,000 might be a deal killer, though. $5,000 per year renewal. That seems excessive.
The gentleman that asked that question is right. A lot of people that got those at $5,000 hoping they were going to get a quick sale are not going to renew those. So what happens to them then? Do they go into registry for $10 or what happens? We'll see.
Yeah, could be the same thing that happened with the TVs where they went for just regular renewal fee after they expired.
Keep them premium at that price. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, Phil, we hope this review has been useful to you. Congratulations on your new GTLD investments. We look forward to hearing from you and maybe getting you on a profitable flip show on DomainSherpa talking about one of these new GTLDs. We'd love to expose more of the successful sales. We're going to move on to the marketplace list. Quick break from 3 sponsors of today's show. First, are you tired of being upsold and cross-sold when you buy or renew a domain? Then try the newest registrar being built from the ground up with a beautiful interface, competitive pricing, and 24/7 support. Uniregistry.com will surprise and delight you. The right domain can change your life. Uniregistry.com. Need a broker who's eager to do whatever is required to sell your domain names regardless of price? Then you need to contact Horton Richards. They specialize in exact match, keyword-rich, geo, and new GTLD domain names, and they sell more than 1,000 a month. Visit HortonRichards.com and tell them the domain you want to sell today. Finally, if you're buying a domain name from a private party and want to know what else they own, DomainIQ.com is the tool you should be using. View their entire portfolio, filter by Esterbot value, and be a better investor. $49.95 for 250 queries per month. Visit DomainIQ.com/portfolio to learn more. We're going to move on to the marketplace list. This segment is sponsored by NameJet. We'll be reviewing 13 domain names heading to auction soon. For transparency, I always ask if the domains that we're reviewing today are owned or brokered by the Sherpas. Guys, you see any on there that are yours or that you're brokering?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing.
If you like one of the names below, click through soon because once they go to auction at NameJet, you lose your chance to put in a minimum bid of $69 and be a part of the auction or even just watch the results. If there are other bids in at $69 and you put a bid in, you will just watch the auction. You won't be sold that domain name. The links below go directly to NameJet. They're not commissionable links. They're just trackable, so NameJet can see how much traffic we're sending them. The list starts with driving.com and ends with issue.voting. Shane, let's start with you this round. What do you like on the NameJet list and why?
All right. I was hoping I'd get to it first because there's really only a couple that really come out. And driving, if I have to talk about driving, you don't understand it, you can go watch some sports show because that's an easy one.
But what do you like it for?
That's the thing. There's so many different things. It could be a brand for anything car related. So it's really open. Billions of dollars worth of companies can use that name. It's all over
NASCAR's big, driving schools are big, anything having to do with driving or racing or...
Absolutely.
Golf?
I mean, it could be golf.
Oh, yeah, golf.
Yeah.
So lots of different industry uses.
Yeah, it's a great name, and it won't be cheap. There's no doubt about it.
What do you think it'll sell for?
Oh, gosh. I think it'll cross 50,000. I really do. I think it's that good a name. I think that somebody's going to pay for it. The only thing at NameJet, you take out the Chinese buyers, and it just changes the market so much. I mean, when the Chinese market wants something, who knows? I didn't see what the number finally went today, but it was in the $25,000 for 4number.com when I was leaving.
Wow.
So. Well, man, I messed up. I know. I sold last week. I sold almost an identity. Today was. It was 2580.com. 2180.com.
Yeah.
And, I didn't see the final number either, but when I saw it was 26,000 when
That's
I
crazy.
saw it.
Yeah.
And I just sold 6613.com and 2190.com for I think it was 40 grand for the pair. And I have a feeling that it was worth about 50% more than that.
It just shows you the buyers really influence. I mean, these names are great, but names also can be valued on who is the acquirers will change everything. Driving was probably more of an American English speaking market than it will a Chinese, but it'll still do well.
Yeah.
SDU, on the other hand, is open up to everybody, the whole world. SDU, and then of course I like Plant Zone. Although I feel like this thing's been up for auction 10 times.
Every time it comes up, I say, Shane, just buy the damn domain name so we don't have to look at it anymore.
Yeah, it is eternal. It's like KevinQuinn.net on GoDaddy. That name has been up for sale for, I'm telling you, I look at the list every night for 9 years, and it's been on the list for 9 years straight. I'm thinking about going to KevinQuinn.net.
You should. So we all agree Plant Zone, maybe we don't. Shane and I agree Plant Zone's a good domain name. It never hits reserve. This is at least the third or fourth time being listed for sale on NameJet. So we may have to talk to Jonathan and Scott about banning plantzone.com if it doesn't hit reserve.
Give it to me for cheaper or don't put it up anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I want to say one I don't like. I don't like got skin. I don't like any got names because the got milk people don't mess around. If you have anything or do anything close to the got milk campaign, they will ding you. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So you like driving.com, you like SDU.com. What's the third one that you like? What's your third favorite?
I do like Plant Zone. I think it's a good name. They can talk about the other ones, but of all the other ones, Plant Zone to me makes the easiest brand.
So Plant Zone always has a reserve. What would you pay for it as an investor, as a nurseryman, as somebody who gets this industry? What would you pay for it today?
I really think it's probably only a $3,000 name. Yeah. Honestly, that's really about it. And that's being a plant lover. It doesn't have anything above that, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. If we can hook up a love connection here so the seller will actually sell it and get this off, would you pay $3,000 for it or would you pay less for it?
That's the problem. Now I feel like when you get hung with something, that's exact. If it won't sell for 8 times on auction and then I'm the guy.
I know, exactly. All right, forget it.
I won't buy it.
It probably has a high, that is probably the absolute retail value. The retail value is $3,000. You probably wouldn't pay for it because you know the market. You probably pay something less.
Yeah. Well, I can't put it back up for auction.
Contact Shane. He will buy it for something less. Drew, thanks, Shane. Drew, let's go over to you. What do you like on the NameJet list and why?
Yeah, so really only 3 names I like. Driving is an obvious one. I'm really surprised to see driving on here. I know that was a I won't mention the owner's name because may or may not be appropriate.
Okay.
But it's a full-blown website, and I remember when he launched the website, he was very excited about it, and he contacted me, and we were discussing it. So I was really surprised to see driving.com pop up on NameJet. It's a whole I believe it's a car insurance website.
Car insurance.
But it's a nice little clever website. Obviously great name. I mean, just anything around cars is solid. Whether it's like car clubs, automotive blog, car comparison.
Yeah.
Used cars for sale. Whatever. There's just a million ways to go with that. It's a great brand. Driving.com, is what it is.
You agree with Shane?
Name.
You think it'll sell for about $50K if reserve is below that?
Look, I don't know anything about it. I would guess it doesn't sell because I don't think that he would sell it for $50,000. So my guess is this doesn't hit reserve. It doesn't sell.
What do you think it's worth? What would the wholesale value? What's the highest wholesale? If you were brokering it, what's the highest wholesale you think you could get today?
Probably 50.
Yeah, somewhere around
probably
that.
about right. I think that's what that's probably the upper limit of what the domainers would pay.
Yep.
I like earnadegree.online.com, even though it's really long. It's just like it's a call to action, and you can't say it any other way. It's like onlinedegree.com is one thing, but earn a degree online is something that it's a call to action, and it's a keyword that people are typing in. It's like, oh, I want to earn a degree online. That's what I type into Google, right? So it's a real nice name. As we discussed before, exact match keywords are kind of falling out of fashion. But at the same time, if it's a call to action like that, earn a degree online, it's a really good brand. It is a bit long, and it certainly gets dinged in value for that. But it's just a great call to action.
What do you think it'll sell for?
I don't think that we're going to get much love out of it from the domain investment community. But I think if you got the right EDU buyer, I think that's probably at least a $10,000 name, if not more. But I can't see it passing $2,000, maybe $3,000 on NameJet, and it might not even go that high.
Yeah.
Okay. STU, I think I used to own that at some point.
All domains pass through you at one point or another.
If it was the 3-letter, it probably did. Great name. I know that name actually has a lot of traffic. I don't know, man. I'm so confused by the 3-letter market these days that it's just like every day the rules change. Every day a new floor is set. But what the Chinese, they don't like vowels until they do. It's like VEO.com went for a boatload of money today on NameJet, and it's like that goes against all the rules that we've been playing by in the 3-letter market, with the Chinese driving that market over the last few weeks. And then suddenly that name went to $36,000, which is like really what the price was for names didn't have a V and didn't have vowels. This name is consisting of a V and 2 vowels, and it went for $36,000. So, you got me, man. I don't know anymore.
Yeah. All right. We're going to wrap up you, Drew, just because we're running out of time. Adam, let's go over to you. What do you like on the list and why?
So I'll keep it simple. I think this is the worst NameJet list we've seen in a while. Driving.com is a $300K name to an end user, and this name is just here probably for show and will never sell, like Drew said. I think mammography.org is a good name for a .org. I think it's not bad. And SDU, and the other one that I don't think will sell is Old Dating, because I don't know what person's going to want to go there to say, I'd like to sign up for Old Dating.
Old people need love too, Adam.
Yeah, I think they'd rather see seniors dating than old dating.
Yeah. Hey, how do you determine if mammography.org, the domain name that's on this list and for auction at NameJet soon, or mammogram.org is a better domain name for investment?
They're both good. I mean, you can look at the traffic on the Google Keyword Planner, but I think that both of them are good. I think that you can't go wrong with either one. I think mammography is getting more and more popular as women get smarter and smarter about breast cancer screening. And it's obviously going to get out there more. The tests are getting less invasive. I know there's a new technique now where they don't have to have their breasts sandwiched and squished, and they can do it through thermal imaging. And I've done a lot of promotion for somebody who does that thermal imaging, and it's like SEM stuff, and it's a really good practice, and it's not difficult for them at all. So and it lasts. It can predict out, from what I understand, 5 to 10 years. So if people get anything from this show, it's to get your wife, mother, spouse, whoever it is, out to get tested for mammography, and look for thermal imaging mammography, and it's really good. You can get a really good outlook.
Awesome. Let me ask you about one other domain name on here, Adam. If advice.com were for sale, that would be, easily a 6-figure domain name. I think it is actually for sale. Advice.xyz. Drew had said earlier in the show he didn't like XYZ. He doesn't know what it stands for. Nagari.
No, I didn't say that. Adam said that.
Adam said that. Okay.
I actually think, despite my dislike of new GTLDs, for whatever reason, I know the reason. I like .xyz because I like Daniel. Daniel is the most aggressive, smartest fucking domain investor in the entire.
Okay, we don't need swearing. I mean,
I apologize for misstating that. Adam, I would think that a generic word like advice, a short, simple advice columns, advice on whatever, you could break it up by industry, would make sense on a .xyz. How come nobody said anything about that domain having value?
So what does Hey, it's my turn. You swear. What does XYZ mean to you, Michael? Does it mean it covers everything?
It's just a generic extension. To me personally.
But what does it mean? What does it really mean to you? Does it mean it covers everything to do with the topic, or from A to Z, or just from X to Z?
I think I think if Daniel Nagari would have launched .abc, it would have had the same value as .xyz. It means nothing. It doesn't mean, like, when people say, well, what does .com mean? I'm like, well, it's usually commercial interest, but it's the default domain extension, so everybody uses it for blogs or whatever. So, organizations, not for profits, typically.
Let me put this bluntly. I'm not a big XYZ fan. I do like Daniel, but he would have to pay me to take this name.
Here's I'm going to just quick take on this.
Yeah.
If Daniel were selling rotten fish in an ice cream cone, I would say I like rotten fish in an ice cream cone because I know Daniel will sell the fucking shit out of it. Now, .xyz doesn't
That's not
mean
a reason
anything.
to buy it.
.xyz, well, it's a reason to invest behind him. .xyz doesn't mean shit to a tree. But Daniel is the only guy out there that I've seen that knows how to sell something that is worthless. He's going to college campuses.
Huh? Worthless.
He's going to college campuses and he's putting T-shirts on people that say, "Hey, what's your name? Your name's Matt G. Well, here you go. Bam, you're now the registrant of mattg.xyz and you got a fucking T-shirt to match." And that guy goes back to his dorm room and he says, "Hey, look, dude, there's this guy on the quad and he's giving out domain names .xyz. Isn't that kind of cool?
So
and look, I got his T-shirt." And so then that guy goes, "Oh shit, I want Peter S.xyz." And so Peter S. runs to the quad and he's got a T-shirt. And that shit's doesn't fucking matter if it's free or $10. It doesn't matter. The point is adoption. It doesn't matter if he's charging $5,000 or $5 or free. It's adoption. The fact that anybody uses it adds value. Most of the billion-dollar companies in the world right now don't even fucking make money. So why does anybody care if Daniel does? The point is...
So Drew, I'm all for adoption, but I still don't like XYZ.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is...
I'm going to break the tie.
All right, break the tie.
I like XYZ, and here's why. It's in between the two. I think Daniel's great. I think it's worthless. But as a business owner, I want something that you're going to remember. That's all I care about. When my truck flies down your street and I put medical .supplies, I think I have less of a chance of remembering at this point in time than medical.xyz. That's just my opinion from that side of it. And Daniel's going to make it even more memorable. and that's why I do it. That's
Why don't we do an XYZ competition? We'll each pick 5 names and see if we can sell any of them.
Well, I own 5 of them.
I think that it's a more difficult cultural shift to go from medical.supplies to medicalsupplies.xyz from medicalsupplies.com. I think that starting to incorporate a meaning to the right side of the dot is a much greater cultural shift than just saying we're going to keep it generic and open it up and give you, a cheaper, more available option. I just think that that's a much more natural shift for the world.
This is a much bigger topic because we're talking about how long will it take for the right of the dot to be adopted, period.
We are. All right.
We are.
Yeah. And nobody has the right answers. I appreciate all of your input on these. We all learn. We all are able to form our own opinions by listening to others, by opening ourselves to it, just like Drew did last night with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All right, Sherpas, we got an extra few minutes to do the lightning round.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Here
I'm going to throw this round. So what?
No. You better not. Come on. Dude, Drew, Shane, you're going to take that from him?
I don't know. Somehow we need to make this cheat proof.
Right.
I don't know. I want hands. Okay,
so for the audience, we're playing the Name That Price game. The game works like this. I named 3 domain names that sold recently. Doesn't matter who it sold to. I'm not going to tell you where it sold, but you're going to write down a price you think it sold at. But wait a second here. Adam's sitting on 3 wins. This could be his 4-peat win, but I got a Skype message from one of my favorite investors who watches the show, and he said, you're picking names and they're not really making sense. I think you need to come up with sales that are selling to end users. So the Sherpas know how to price the domain names, and then the audience gets to see end user pricing, which is what we're all going for anyways, because a sale on NameJet may sell to, a domain investor. So today we're only going to do sales to end users and sold within the past 6 months, so it's relatively recent. And Yoni, get off my back, okay? All right, this is for you. First up.
Wait, haven't I been saying this for
you have
2 years that it has to be
all right. First up. It could be a name, it could be a color. The domain is...
You have to, hands in the air, write it on the back of the paper.
Adam, where are your hands? The domain is amber.com. A-M-B-E-R, amber.com. What do you think it sold for? Write down your answer. Amber.com. Could be a name, could be a color.
There, I'm up. Let's go.
Could be a brand. Shane's done. Drew's... All right, hold them up, gentlemen. Shane wrote $37K, $37,000. Drew wrote $58,000.
Oh, I got a good cushion here.
And Adam wrote $12,000. Adam, you wrote...
Hands up.
Hands are up. The correct answer is $180,000. Drew gets the W on that one. Amber.
Wow, 180 down. That's
Amber.
A nice...
well, because it could be Amber Alert, too.
Could be an Amber Alert. Could be just a brand.
But Amber Alert, that was kind of why I downplayed my thing, because I was like, man, if I'm an end user, I'm going to be a little bit sensitive to having a brand that sounds like Amber Alert. I mean, nobody really likes thinking about, missing children.
No, yeah. But Amber, names do sell for, mid to high 5 figures, right?
Yeah, I mean, we sold Mark, M-A-R-C, for 85, I believe. And we've got a bunch of them. We've got Susan and Toby and Leah.
And colors could easily get into the 6 figures. I know the guy that owns Purple.com has on their website, do not contact me. I will not sell Purple.com.
Next.
All right. Next up, it's a 2-word domain name. Sold to an end user. Currencyconverter.com. What did it sell for? Write down your answer. Currencyconverter.com.
No.
Currency converter. I don't know.
Yeah, so you got to think of how it might be used. Who's the best end user? How much did they get? All right, hold them up. Shane wrote $40,000. Adam wrote $28,000. Drew wrote Is that
Hold
$7,800?
on. 128.
7,800.
$128,000. All right.
Yeah.
And Drew, you wrote how much?
7,800.
7,800. Okay, the correct answer is $150,000.
What? Come on.
There you go.
I haven't been within 100,000.
Yeah, how did that happen, Shane? You wrote $40,000 and currency
$250,000
converters at 150.
God.
Hands up.
Yeah, so Adam got the W for that one clearly. So Drew
Okay,
and
Adam,
both
hands
have one
up
win.
doesn't mean block the camera with the paper.
Exactly. Okay.
All right,
Hands
here's
up.
the last domain name, gentlemen. We need to settle this here. It's another 2-word domain name. Many homes, at least in the United States, have them, probably around the world. The domain name is flowerbox.com. Flowerbox.com. What do you think it's sold for? Write down your answer.
Well, I own flower beds.
No, it's
so-
not flower beds.
Flowerbox.com.
This could be a good
Nice
comp
name.
for you.
This one did a penny.
Done.
Could be a porn site.
It could be flowerbox.com. All right, Adam's writing, Shane's writing. All right, Shane, what is that? 45,840?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm an expert.
Drew's at
Wait,
38.
Adam's adjusting. No,
Thousand.
Adam's
No. 8,500. That's what I had before.
no.
That's what I had.
Okay.
8,500 and
8,500.
all right. So Adam, you got 8,500. Drew, you wrote $38,000 down, and Shane, you wrote 45,800.
Shane knows this because he knows every
$40.
flower domain there is.
And the correct answer is $55,000. Shane gets the W.
Wow.
All right, so
wait,
now
we
we
got
got
three,
we got it
we're
tied. We're gonna need a tiebreaker. Last one,
Please,
gentlemen. It's
do
do or
whatever
die,
you're playing.
sudden death. Here
I
we
want to
go.
see those fingers. I want to see those fingers.
All right, final one. The domain is Mega Deal. Mega, M-E-G-A, deal, D-E-A-L.com.
this one just
Mega
sold.
Deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I just
A lot of
saw
people say
one
that about
too.
me.
Yeah.
Mega
I'm
Deal.
done.
Adam's done.
Done.
Shane
Fingers.
is writing. Drew is writing. Drew is done. Shane is done. Okay, hold him up, gentlemen.
Oh my, we're really close.
24.
Oh, he went way high. You guys went high.
So Adam wrote 7,500. Drew, you wrote 78,000, and Shane,
Yeah,
you
I'm
wrote
probably way off.
24,000. Is that right?
Yep.
Come on, bring it close to me, Michael.
The correct answer is.
What?
Sorry, I have to do some math here. The correct answer is $50,000. Can you believe that,
who got
Adam?
that?
And I think,
Is that-
I'm out.
I think Shane got the W.
What?
I
Wait, what did
think
Shane do?
it was 50,000, so you're off by 28.
I lost by $2,000.
You're off by 28, and Shane's
Way
off
to
by
go, Shane.
26.
Congrats.
So Shane gets
Oh,
the
I won the
W.
contest. We got 200,000 in total.
Congrats, Shane. Good for you.
All right, so all these domains sold at domain name sales. Frank Schilling's team tends to get really high values for the domain names in his portfolio. Were you guys surprised at some of these domains? Adam, you were off
obviously.
7,500 to 50,000 on megadeal.com.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that high, so I just didn't think it's that good a domain name. But to somebody, it must be. So there you go.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen a mega. I've seen a lot of mega names sell for mega prices. Kim.com has got a lot of money, man.
All right, I got one quick question. Drew, it was directed towards you. It's from Cindy. She said, I loved the show last week, the last review show. This is a great forum, and that's directed to all three of you gentlemen. Essential.com. In the first 500 trademark searches, there are several potential collisions and at least 3 to 4 major industry direct collisions. I think she's talking about the word essential having trademarks. Does having trademarks greatly narrow available use and potential sales of a domain name like that, Drew?
Actually, I believe exactly the opposite. I mean, I think you have to be extremely careful with your use of a domain name as a domain investor if it has a lot of trademarks on it. But in my opinion, that tremendously increases your chances of selling it. I mean, it costs money to file a trademark. It takes a lot of mind share, a lot of internal resources to say, okay, this is going to be our brand. We're going to protect it. We're going to go file a trademark on it. That in itself shows inherent value. And so if you've got, 1,000 companies filing a trademark on Essential, then I would say that's 1,000 potential buyers for the essential.com domain name. Of course, you don't want to go infringing on any of those trademarks. And then on the flip side of that same coin, I think that, if I were to, put up a basic website, without having any trademark, I take the essential.com domain name and I put up a vitamin website on it, just as an example. And then somebody comes along and say, we're Essential Nutrients and, we've got a trademark on Essential. We're going to take that from you. I think I'd have a pretty good argument. I don't know how I'd fare in a UDRP since they tend to be pretty biased towards the complainant, but I would, immediately file a federal suit to protect the name, and I think we'd have a pretty good case because I think it's a super generic name, number one, and then who's to say that Essential Nutrients should be the only one that should have rights to the word essential, right? Versus, the other 1,000 people with a trademark. And I've seen that used. I've seen, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't describe it exactly what the case is or what the argument is. But I've seen it used in the sense that, the more trademarks there are for a given term, it shows the more ubiquitous that term is. Mm-hmm. And I've seen that used successfully as a defense against a trademark complaint.
All right, good input. Any other thoughts on that topic, Shane or Adam?
Yeah, no, I agree. Every word in the dictionary has a trademark essentially, so you can't be scared of trademarks because trademarks are using that word towards something. So any generic word is, in my opinion, fine. If you register Dropbox, it's not a word that's being used otherwise. If it's generic, you're going to be, there's some common sense. I know legal doesn't involve common sense often, but to me, that's how I look at it because people play that game all the time. Oh, you can use Dropbox for anything. Everybody drops boxes. No, that's not even close. But essential, we use it in everyday language. So to me, that's just basic intelligence when it comes to things like that.
It is essential that people do their trademark research, though, and make sure that they don't apply it towards anything. If you're not sure, just put up a for sale page and don't target anything. And watch out for those parking ads that will pick up trademarks and display them for you.
That's right. Yeah, that can be used as a bad faith example in a UDRP case. Good point.
Yeah, and if you take a look, I don't even think, let me just double check, but I don't think we're even parking essential.com. Some of these higher value names, we're just forwarding it directly to the MediaOptions.com homepage, which is what we do with a lot of our, high value potential trademark.
Yeah, why do you want $20 a month to risk something? It's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Sherpas. 30 seconds apiece to promote anything you want. I'm going to be the first one to say DN Seattle is happening this Thursday, May 28th, Kirkland, Washington, right outside Seattle. Our own Adam Dicker will be there in person. We're going to have the event from 6 to 9 p.m. We're going to have an after party over on the water of Lake Washington. Who knows what could happen after that? Let's just say marijuana is legal for recreational uses and medicinal for uses in Washington. With that, we have one ticket. If you are in the Seattle area this week and you wanted to come, email Michael at DomainSherpa.com as soon as possible. I print up badges, got to get everything organized. Adam, let's go over to you. When are you flying in?
You told me the date. What are you asking me for? So my promotion is DN Forum. Everybody who's listening to the show gets a free gold DN Forum membership. You can email simon.byrne, B-Y-R-N-E, at webcorp.ca, and they'll set it up for you. And then also visit the new adamdicker.com. I'm sure you'll find something interesting there.
adamdicker.com. Thanks, Adam. That's nice of you to offer a free gold membership. Awesome. Drew, let's go to you. Anything you want to mention or promote? EO.com.
I'm waiting to start with nothing.
I have a feeling that EO.com is going to be sold by the time this show airs. But if it hasn't, we have dropped the price one more time. We've got 3 offers on the table that are super close. My guess is that it's going to be sold in the next 24 hours. So it probably won't be available by the time this airs, but you never know.
Does that count as his promotion?
I don't know.
I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Thanks, Drew. Shane, let's go to you.
Every time we start with Drew, I know I got 8 minutes. Here's my invitation. I don't have anything to sell, but, and then it rolls. Then he's got 72 more names he's selling. Man,
don't leave it open. Do your promo.
It's good to be a moderate. My promo, of course, is Domain Shane. We got the same. We go through the list every day, go through them. We added a new person, Aaron Johnson, to go through that list and then say the results to see if I'm picking out names and what happened. So, because everybody says, "Hey, great names, I like them," but we don't. I'm too busy to really follow what happens unless I bought it myself or somebody tells me. So now we're going to put up the results and see if the list does anything, if what kind they sell, and why we think sold. So
you know what I'd like to see on those, Shane? So I can't tell if Aaron's just copying your old post and then pasting it down with prices, but what I'd like to see is like 2 columns. Here's what Shane said about that domain name, and then here's what it's sold for, and now I'm going to make fun of Shane with some comments. So that would be cool.
That's exactly. See, I told him that he'd absolutely get feedback on what they wanted to see. That's a perfect example. Yeah, it's a work in progress. Hell, I don't make fun of me all you want.
I enjoy reading what you have to say because you sometimes come off with these crazy things that reminisce about old things that you remember growing up when you're looking at a domain name or something about your wife or whatever, And then so I want to hear what somebody else on your team has to say about joking about what you said originally. That would be fun.
I think half the stuff I write is only funny to myself. I agree with you.
I like it too. All right, if you receive benefit from today's show, please post a comment below and thank today's Sherpas. Thanks to Phil Harris and the GTLD link readers for submitting their portfolios. GTLD.link is the URL. We appreciated all those submissions. Thanks to NameJet. I know it's a mouthful, right? Thanks to NameJet for submitting their portfolio and sponsoring the Domain Sherpa review. And thanks again to our Domain Sherpas, Adam Dicker, Drew Rosener, and Shane Cultura for sharing your experience and insights. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you.
See you guys.